We're on. Hey guys. Hi.
Are we on?
Yeah.
Hey, how's it going, everyone? Welcome to Pan Geekery Podcast, a weekly live video podcast celebrating all things geek from an all diverse perspective. And what we do is, I'm looking at the wrong camera. I'm looking at the SLR that's in front of my face. And what we talk about is geek stuff, all things related to video games, comic books, TV, and all the things covering all the nooks and crannies of fandom. My name is Earl Bangalon. I'm an actor, improviser based in Los Angeles, California. And the last game that I bought a physical copy of was World of Warcraft Warlords of Draenor.
Wow. Awesome. Hi, I'm Jennifer Zhang. I'm an actor, writer, gamer, model, and artist. And what am I supposed to say?
What was the last game that you bought a physical copy of? Physical
copy of. That's very hard because I bought digital copies of Final Fantasy VII Remake. Oh, I bought a physical copy of Animal Crossing.
Oh, there you go. For your Switch, you need a physical one. Right.
For the Switch that I borrowed. Yeah. So there you go, physical copy.
Nice.
Yeah. And before that, it was Death Stranding. Sorry. I'm done.
Hey guys, Walter, editor, camera guy, and the last game I bought it would have to be Odyssey and Detroit.
God damn it, I knew it.
In Detroit.
Detroit. Well done.
Oh, Detroit.
And I finally finished Odyssey, so now I can
finished Odyssey.
Finally. That was like a year ago, man.
Year and a half. Like
I was playing I was playing all side quests, dude. Like I was jacked up.
Not good enough.
My character was jacked up.
Wow.
You skipped me.
No, go for it.
There's an order to these things, Walter. I'm just kidding. Hi, guys. My name is Caitlin Faye. I'm an actor, writer, singer, and director. And the last and only physical hard game I've ever bought was the Game of Thrones Telltale game.
And then
from, GameStop, which I lost.
How'd you lose it?
I don't know where it is. It's probably somewhere still in my apartment. The last game I bought was like Witcher 3.
Right. And your ex-boyfriends took it.
Yeah, Pete, I don't know, aliens abducted my game.
Aliens.
Dude, my ex-flame stole my Detroit Become Human disc as well.
That's just rude.
Caitlin, stop having strange boys over at your house to pick your games.
I'll try, but it's an addiction, you guys. I can't help it.
Games are bringing boys home.
Yeah, my games bring all my boys to the yard.
Ooh, damn
they're
right.
Like, my console's better than yours.
Oh, damn right.
Teach you.
To charge. So we do today. We have a special guest, Aaron. We will introduce him a little bit later, but we're going to be talking about a few things during this episode. What's up to everybody in chat? Thank you for being here. There's a few ways you can support us. Do type in questions in the chat. We will get to them as soon as we can. Try to answer all your questions. We have some donation buttons down there, some affiliate links. Do subscribe if you have Amazon Prime, because it gives us a kickback anyway, despite the fact that it's free for you. And we love you all. So please, if the spirit so moves you. There's a stream schedule, like a formalized stream schedule out now. So do check that out. This is our main stream on Monday nights here at 8 p.m. But we do have gaming streams over the course of the week. We have singing streams. We have a whole bunch of stuff that we're going to be trying out. So do check that all out. What we're going to be talking about this week is we're going to talk to our guest, Aaron Aoki. We're going to talk about Half-Life ALYX, the VR game. We're going to be talking about CASTLEVANIA, the Netflix series, up to the end of season 3. So spoilers for that. And finally, we're going to talk about the first game you ever fell in love playing. So a lot of stuff today. Okay, so as you can see, we are totally still social distancing like a motherfucker. How is everybody doing today?
Ladies first.
I'm really proud of myself because I woke up at 12 p.m.
That is
earliest I have ever woken up in the last however long, I don't know, because yesterday I woke up at 4:30 and that was the latest I had ever woken up, and I was
oh
like,
god,
if
that's
this
my
is
latest
a precedent,
right now, 4:30.
I don't know, I'm gonna lose my mind. So I'm like, I'm gonna sleep at 3:30 a.m. and I did. I went to sleep
pretty
at
good.
3:30 a.m., which is pretty good for me. considering I've been staying up till sunrise. So
I'm curious, like on average, what time do you guys sleep and what time do you guys wake up now? Because
it's 4 a.m. 1:30 for me.
That's not bad. You sleep at 4 a.m. Wake up at 1:30.
4 to 5. 4 or 5.
4 or 5.
Oh, Infernal, it cut out because my internet went out, not because I went to sleep. I actually had beat that boss. Sorry, just to answer that question.
Fortnite tonight, nice bangs.
Yes, she's a gamer girl.
Spectrum be like cutting out your internet in the middle
of the night. What's up, Gabriel Bosco?
They did.
Infernal Phoenix, what's up?
I feel like I sleep now on average around 6 or 7 a.m.
Yeah.
The latest one was like 9 a.m.
Oh, God.
Yeah. And then I wake up at like 3 o'clock, 3 or 4. I wake up at 3 or 4.
Yeah. Go ahead, Earl.
No. I'm the exact same. So
yeah, it's insane. Insane in the membrane.
I've been between 12 and 2, but I've also
that's amazing.
Hey, whoa, that's a long time you're sleeping. Oh, you mean
no, between
when he falls asleep,
between 12 and 2. I think that's most of us on a normal night, right?
Well, I'm trying to but I'm trying to wake up. I actually should be sleeping earlier because I actually have to wake up early
to work.
Oh, okay.
So this is bad for Walter, but that was like our normal.
That was like us.
Now we're like completely nocturnal.
Now we're completely nocturnal. Yeah.
Oh God.
Insane, guys.
I've been trying different like ways to reset my sleep cycle. None of them are working, and I keep on looking at this fucking camera. I'm gonna take it down. Yeah. But I don't know. I mean, otherwise, how's everyone?
I have an idea, you guys. I don't know if I should pitch it here live, but maybe our followers will, pressure you guys into complying with my idea. Ronnie's laughing nervously.
Let's not. I don't want to talk about it live. Let's talk about off.
How we're
okay,
doing?
Fine.
Does this have to do with how we're doing?
No, it's an idea of what we could do in the future, like a thing to do, like an activity.
Oh, gotcha.
Should I say
off
it?
stream? No.
Fine. Never mind.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jen. What are you saying?
That's all I was saying. I mean, y'all haven't said anything yet.
Yeah, exactly. Why are you making us talk?
I mean, I've been all right. Like I spent the whole weekend rearranging. As you guys can see, my background's different now. Like,
it is.
Spent the whole weekend.
Is that a transformer on your shelf?
Yes, that is Optimus Prime, and right next to him is the Macross.
Oh, very cool. It's almost like you're a nerd or something.
You might be on a podcast.
Phoenix in chat. Thank you for the suggestion, Phoenix. Maybe I'll try that. Who's next?
Chat's active. I think you guys, ladies.
What are you been up to?
Mm-hmm. I mean, I already talked about it, so like somebody else.
She's getting. I think it's your turn, Earl.
Oh yeah.
I've not been doing anything.
We're basically admitting to everyone how boring our lives are. We can't even come up with things.
Oh, like I said, this is exactly what I've been up to.
We haven't been doing anything all week.
Okay, I'll say
boring, Walter.
I'm boring.
The thing is, it's hard for me to. I've gotten to the point in like
you don't even know anymore what day it is or what you've been doing. Yeah.
I've forgotten. This is a weird thing. This is how I keep track of days now. Is like I will I'll look through my Instagram messages or like my texts, and I'm like, when did I message this person? Like, okay, I remember that was this long ago or whatever.
See, that's more of a
that's timestamped. That's
more of a point of reference than I have.
Right.
Wait. Okay. Yeah. I know I'm boring and like
I was kidding.
No. I Marie Kondoed my shit. Yes, but Earl, you did do something recently. Stream Lumpia. Wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
Why are you talking about that?
So
that was yesterday.
Yeah, that was yesterday. I am an associate producer on a feature film called Lumpia with a Vengeance. I've been like we did a web stream yesterday because we were supposed to have a premiere, like a in-person premiere at one of the film festivals here in LA. That is not happening because of the whole COVID crisis, and we just went online yesterday to talk about the progress with the film because it's still currently in post. Talk about yesterday was mostly about the soundtrack, the people that we are going to have on the soundtrack. So we had performances with one of the artists that is on the soundtrack. They're called No Rest Till Death. The lead singer is actually the lead for the film April. Shout out to April.
Oh,
and then
she had a band. Oh, cool.
Yeah. And then we just had a few guests on. We talked about the slew, the giant mountain of VFX shots that are left. And
that's crazy. I don't envy the post team.
No, I don't either. There's only 2, so there's
there's only 2.
All 2 of them. I need to watch.
One of them's like old.
Yeah. Okay. So that's all I can remember. I've been playing video games, Stanley Parable, I probably said that last week, and Legend of the Heroes Trail in the Sky. It's a JRPG, so stuff. Caitlin.
Like 2 nights ago, I got a message on Instagram.
Yeah.
Someone slid into my DMs.
Ooh.
A woman.
Yeah.
And she said,
I like the sound of
Walter's like, go on.
Go on.
So this girl, her name was Bad Amy.
Bad Amy.
Oh, I know.
Do you know Bad Amy? You know her?
She's who I messaged you about.
What?
Yeah, you actually know her. She's the leader of a group that I don't want to be part of anymore.
Oh, wow. I can't believe you just said that on air. Yeah. Okay, well,
go on.
I don't know if it's the same Amy, but okay, sure. It's the same Amy. Wow. Well, this is awkward.
Very awkward.
This is super awkward now. Well, she basically asked me to direct a music video that she's coming out with as soon as this quarantine is lifted. She's Chinese, and it's called "I'm a Virus."
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and she wants it to be dark and weird. Jen, what are you telling me? I already got excited about this project. I want to do it. I've been coming up with all these ideas the past few days. Oh my God. Anyways, well, that happened to me.
Right.
Next topic.
Yeah. Sorry. See, this is maybe we should go over these before.
Live.
Yeah, maybe we should practice.
This is what happens when show's live.
Yeah, we should go over these things beforehand sometimes, maybe.
Oh my goodness.
Anyway, yeah. So where's my my episode rundown? What's up, chat?
Everything's falling apart.
So that's one thing we did. This didn't necessarily come out last week, but we didn't shoot this last week, but it came out this past week. Is our America's Top Model video. Caitlin, did you want to talk about that?
Oh, I didn't know I was going to talk about it.
Well, I don't have to. I can talk about it.
Who directed it? Who wrote it? Who?
I mean, I will not pass up an opportunity. Yeah. I'm just kidding. Well, so as you know, we're trying to put out a little more content video-wise on Pangeekery's channel. We just started a TikTok. So if you guys are on TikTok, please add us as friends. We'll follow you back. And we are, since we're all social distancing, we have a little more time on our hands. So I thought I'd try and create more video content. Our latest one has all of us kind of pretending we're in some America's Next Top Model world, modeling the latest coronavirus-inspired fashions. And, there's some scandalous bits if you get to the end of the video. So
you should watch it. I think it's funny.
Are we allowed to play it? Can we play it?
Oh, yeah. Can we play it? Are we playing it?
I think it's clean enough for...
Are we throwing to...
All right, let's do it. Listen, guys, I don't have Premiere. I used iMovie. Don't judge my editing skill. I tried.
I don't think there's anything on there.
When I get Premiere one day, you know I'm gonna be
We're not going to No, we're going
Hello. How does it feel to be vulnerable and exposed like that, Earl?
Oh, it's it's just my natural, my natural state of being. People don't know, but like I actually don't have genitals. It's just blurry down there like that.
So did you have to do method acting? Like how did you get into the role?
How did I get into role? I learned this thing called After Effects, and then
okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Nice. So you didn't practice what it was like to actually have genitals.
No, I didn't.
Gotcha.
I just I had to. Well, no. I just
Where's this going?
No. Yeah.
It was going to go into several places, and then I was like, I pulled it back. I was like, let's not go there.
Wait, we're live.
I do like how it all came together, though. It kind of worked with.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Walter. I actually in an old cut, your footage. There's more footage of you, but then I was like, oh man, I really need someone to be watching television.
No, it just makes sense that like I'm turning on the TV.
Yeah.
And but the funny thing is we didn't even talk about that.
No, we didn't. It was Earl's idea.
And I was just, and I was just like, I just did the TV thing and it worked out.
Yeah. Anyways,
but good job.
You guys
good
have
job, guys.
ideas. If you guys have ideas, please send them to us, and
we'll take your ideas.
Video, give us your ideas, and I will steal them.
We'll make them funny.
We'll make them good. Yeah, just kidding.
Just kidding. You all are funny. I swear. But yeah, check us out on TikTok. Everything is at Pangeekery. That's again PANGEEKERY. It's right there in the stream. But yeah, hopefully we'll have more content like that. So cool. Let's get to our main topics. So, is everybody ready?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So first of all, let me introduce our guest for today, Aaron Aoki. Yay! What's up, Aaron?
Guys? Hello.
Cool. So I know Aaron through the improviser community.
Long time.
Very long time. So I'm the artistic director of an improv troupe called Room to Improv, which is an Asian American one. Aaron is in Cold Tofu, which is the nation's longest running Asian American improv troupe. So we've been collaborating for the last 10 years maybe.
Something like that. Yeah.
Dude,
wow.
Yeah. But yeah, what else do you do, man? I mean, like that's how I know you. I know you're an actor and stuff.
I like to just throw everything under the umbrella of actor. So
nice.
Like, if I have
that's
to if I do anything other than that, I'm just like, I'm just acting as a singer, or I'm acting as a writer. But yeah, I mean, it's LA, so everyone does everything. So
well, let's go. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, but you're also a fight and stunt choreographer. Am I wrong?
Yes, I have been doing that more recently. So my good friend Thomas Morinaka, he's been doing stage combat and stunt coordinator and fight director for a long time. And so he's pulled me in on the stunt side of it before. And then for Viet Gone at East West Players, he needed someone to help with the big fight, especially with the ninjas that come in.
I love that scene. I was cracking up. It was so well done.
Right. So I just, had the applicable weapons skill set. So he brought me in to teach the actors how to use those weapons. And and then I just went from there. And then we had two projects earlier this year. Was Where the Mountain Meets the Moon at South Coast Rep. And then also at the Geffen, we had something Jen would know about, Man of God. And so, yeah, it's been a whirlwind, just all of a sudden picking that up. So Viet Gone was actually technically my first like official fight director or fight choreographer project, and we ended up winning 2 awards: LA Drama Critics Circle and LA, like they call it a Cine. And then we were nominated for an ovation, but we didn't get it. So,
But
that's still really great.
I know. So it's just it's crazy to just jump in on that and then all of a sudden be like technically award winning.
Absolutely.
You're it seems like the common denominator between all three of these times that you started up on fight stuff this year, Albert Park has been in the cast for all of them.
He has been, in all three of them, actually. So,
Viet Gone, Where the Mountain Meets the Moon, and Man of God.
Yeah, yep, all three projects. And it's just, fantastic to work with, as you know. So it's been a wild ride. And,
that's cool, dude. Aaron, how did you get your start in the industry? I've actually never asked you this, so.
So I after college, I went to school for biomedical engineering. And
what's up, dude?
Right?
What school?
University of Wisconsin, Madison.
Oh wow!
Oh shit!
Wisconsin.
Wisconsin. Yeah. I grew up in California.
Bio majors?
But,
sorry.
We moved to the Midwest when I was just starting high school because my dad got a job at Best Buy and that's where the headquarters is.
Right.
So I went to high school in Minnesota and college in Wisconsin. And then after college, I knew I wasn't on the path that I needed to be on. And I was just, trying new things. And I was working at a restaurant and one of my coworkers used to act here in LA. And she was like, hey, I'm going to start an acting class. I think you should come check it out. And I did. And, that was it. I just,
the rest is history.
Really just fell in love with it, and it's not even something I feel like I'm great at, but I do love doing it,
That's dope, dude. Yeah. How did you find cold tofu?
So when I first moved back to LA, I'd already started acting and I ran into Brian Takahashi. And he and I actually played on the same basketball team in California before my family moved away. So I knew him. And then when I moved back, we ran into each other at a birthday event for my old Buddhist church reverend. And that is the church that he ended up going to after my family moved away. So we had like all these like weird ties and then just happened to run into each other again.
It was
found out we both had got into acting. And so he was like, cool, let's hang out. And then he was like, hey, I'm in an improv group and we're going to do a show. So you should come check it out. And that was it.
That's cool, man.
That's cool, dude. That's awesome, man.
Can I ask what you're talking about your fight choreography and martial arts, and as a big fan of martial arts and martial arts myself, I have to ask, like, what's your martial arts background, and
so I actually didn't get into it until kind of later, or at least especially like more seriously, I didn't get into it until like later in life. My dad was a black belt in judo, but I don't know. He just never taught.
He never passed.
He never taught you.
Oh man.
He was like really busy when I was younger, so it was mostly me.
As long as he gave you employee discounts.
Right. Definitely took advantage of that. Definitely took advantage of that. So yeah, I first started like dabbling with like Jeet Kune Do and stuff like that, but when I started taking it more seriously, I was training with a guy that grew up in the Shaolin monastery, and so it was Shaolin Kung Fu.
Oh my god,
Shaolin! That is probably what I studied with the longest. And then a side part of that, we had a different instructor do Sansu.
Oh wow!
Wow.
So that's fun. That's like, taking just the Shaolin Kung Fu and like applying it just directly to street fighting.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I'm like, oh, that's what that move is for.
That's what that
oh,
was
cool.
supposed to be
It taught you how to kick ass, basically.
So how did you?
Right.
So like, what kind of weapon training did you grow up with, and when you started doing martial arts and got to do it?
Yeah. So when I was taking the Kung Fu, I mostly did the Dao, the broadsword, and then a little bit of the staff, and then they had started teaching me the double spears. Those are the two
the short spears.
Yeah, shorter, but they've got tips on both ends.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, both ends. Oh,
yeah.
damn.
So there's tips on both ends, and
I don't think I've seen demos for that.
Yeah. So it's, I guess, a little baton twirly-ish, but with sharp ends at the end. Yeah, at the end of them.
Baton twirly.
That's fun, especially when you really get them going. You just hear that whirling, and you're like,
I mean, I guess that's the inspiration for the double-ended lightsabers, right? Because it's really two really deadly points.
Very dramatic.
right, yeah. But yeah, I guess they thought I would be good at that because I actually before that had already started self-training with the Sai.
Nice.
So those are the weapons that I know like the back of my hands. I mean, that's what I've trained with the longest.
You're Raphael.
I know, that's what I was gonna say. So is that Raphael your inspiration there?
It's funny because like growing up, I'm the oldest of four kids. So
you're the oldest?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I have a lot of older friends, so then it like offsets
it
that.
Balances it out.
Like, yeah, so like I get treated I
thought you were
like
the youngest
baby.
for some reason.
Yeah, in certain situations, I definitely feel like that. I mean, especially
Sorry, I don't know why.
Well, I mean, when we were rehearsing, I mean, I'm with Thomas the whole time, and he's like an older brother, so I just kind of fall into that kind of mindset. But like, especially if I'm like just with like younger friends and stuff, I definitely turn on the older brother kind of mentality.
The vibe.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But yeah, so there were four of us. We loved the Ninja Turtles, so obviously I ended up with Leonardo, the oldest, all the time.
The stick in the mud.
But
cool.
But actually, I think the Sai, like, I think I gravitated towards that just because at the time, I mean, having big swords was like not something I thought like I would, be able to do like in a small apartment or whatever. But like I started training in swords now, and that's definitely feels very comfortable now. And so I'm definitely more into that, but Sai will always be like my go-to.
Cool.
Nice. So
wow.
As far as like fight choreography goes, or like stunt choreography, I know like you've started working in that because of Thomas. Like what takeaways have you gotten from that? Is that something that you would like to do on your own someday, or would you? I mean, I know you're probably part of his team, right? I
mean, he definitely will mention like, oh yeah, somebody's got to take it over when I die. But it's definitely cool. I do love just using that kind of fight knowledge into the art of it. Like creating that. It's difficult for me, and it's something I've had to like learn how to manage throughout is the translation, especially with stage combat, because there's just things that in a real fight
you wouldn't do
or you would do.
We had to deal with that.
You cannot in stage, because
because it has to be like fancier on stage. This always disappoints me. Because I think the stuff I see in movies are how you really fight, and then I find out that's not true.
Oh, it's
it's like so unnecessary, you know.
Yeah. So like anytime you're choreographing stuff, I mean, you have to think about like the audience and what looks good to them. So it's stuff, you know, like especially with stage, you know, you've got people in the like far back, and you got to realize that. So everything's got to be bigger, and it's got to be showier to the point where like so people can see it, they can see it coming, you know, so they know what to expect. Like if they don't see it coming and then it happens, they're just gonna be like, "Wait, what? You know,
what happened?
I don't get it." You know, yeah,
it goes too fast. Yeah.
So you've got to like really like show something's gonna happen, and then let it happen so that they're with you the entire way.
Right.
Whereas, you know, in a real fight, that's the last thing you want to do. Is
you don't
right, exactly.
Like, I'm going to punch you, and it's going to come from this direction.
That's so cool.
But yeah, so, and then, I mean, especially my fighting style is just like out of nowhere. And then you get hit.
Sun Tzu. So Aaron, what like, you know, we're a geek podcast, so like what are your fandoms? My
fandoms, see, so I was like, when I was doing the bio, I was like, oh, what do I, and I was like basically listing off everything, and I was like, okay, this just sounds very too general much. Like everything geek. So I would say number one is probably video games. I mean, that's something from, you know, Atari all the way on up.
Right.
And I just that's been a constant in my life.
Nice. I know we played Overwatch a few times together.
We have. Yeah. I started back up.
Did you?
Yeah. But I realized the only mode I like is Mystery Heroes.
Dude,
because
I play that all the time.
Yeah, because that plays to my strengths. Right. It's just like, I'm not like an expert at any one character, but I can kind of play all of them to a decent degree.
Oh, we lost Walter.
So,
oh no. I noticed he was muted.
That's so. Hopefully he'll pop back in. Sorry. But you play each of the characters to a different degree. I know.
I can adapt to pretty much, you know, most of the characters.
Do you have a
favorite character?
What's your main? Your Overwatch main?
It kind of varies. Let's see.
Because I used to be a hardcore like Reinhardt Anna main. So
yeah.
Those two. I know you were playing Pharah for a little bit.
Yeah, Pharah was a fun one. Let's see.
And then you had a Zarya for a little bit. Yeah.
Because there's just so many characters.
There are a lot.
And I just have a hard time in general picking favorites in anything.
That's fair.
Roadhog can be fun, you know,
Roadhog,
with you know, just the self-healing. You don't have to rely on people too much. And then you just hook them in, and then it's like boom, done.
Do you like the new characters? Because there's new ones.
Yeah. Echo just came out. I haven't really had a lot of playtime on Echo. Just because with Mystery Heroes, I mean, you don't get to choose.
Echo is a bit OP, dude. You should get some hands-on with her. It's like her ult is absolute game changer. Because, you know what it is?
So you clone any of the enemy characters, and then But then as you play, like the meter charges up so fast.
It's so fast. It's like within 10 seconds you get your ult. It's
yeah. So that's I've played. I messed around, you know, in training with her, so I got a decent feel. But I think I've only ever gotten to play her in Mystery Heroes like once since she came out.
Oh, dude, yeah. We should get you in a queue. Like next time like Room to Improv is on, we should get you on because we usually play like a 4 or 5 stack. And then,
right on. No, I'm down for sure.
Sky.
Yeah.
I mean, I was about to say your gamer tag.
It's okay. You can tell the world. It's
Tell the world.
not a secret.
We're an extremely famous podcast with a huge fan base. You don't know who might follow you.
Could be tons of people just out there trying
weirdos.
You know, I don't know if they're
Speaking of
fans of
weirdos, what's up,
Pangeeky,
chat?
they must be cool.
Yeah, totally. Our fans are the best, right?
Yes,
They are.
Right, fans?
Yeah. Okay, chat. I think we as you can tell, we've lost Walter for a little bit. He might be gone for a hot second. So yeah,
there you go.
Yeah.
Internet problems.
Who knows? Okay.
But yeah.
Dude, cut him off.
So we're talking about like video games. How did you make? When did you? Because VR is a thing now. When did you? Were you an early adopter then? I think, right?
I was fairly early. So I just happened to have a friend who worked at HTC, and so he was like promoting it. And then, so yeah, he had a setup at his house. He invited me over, just to hang out. Like it wasn't like a official like promotion or anything. And he was like, dude, you got to check it out. I was like, yeah, I'm down. Like I love video games. This is, been something I've been dreaming about. So like, let's do it. And I hopped on and I didn't even realize how like mind blowing it would be for me, like, cause it's not, it's not even the jump from one system to the next or, just the level of immersion is like just so insane, just being able to like turn your head and see, the screen, so, like it goes with it, that. It's kind of like, I don't know if you guys have ever seen that thing where they have someone has their hand covered and then they put a fake hand like next to it,
and then
they're looking at the fake hand, then like you like link up, and then like
you think it's your
you
hand?
can almost feel
exactly. They smash the fake hand, and then you go, "Oh God!" as if it was a real one. Yeah.
Like,
I played that before. Yeah, it's horrifying.
Yeah.
I totally get that. Because I had my first like home VR experience maybe a couple of years ago. I think it was also an HTC Vive, and unless you've ever experienced VR in that situation before, it's hard to explain the kind of like immersion that you kind of snap into really quickly. Actually, So and it is really the combination of the sound as well as the head turning it's a huge thing. Just being able to basically zero lag, interact with a world that only you see. So it's pretty crazy.
So yeah, like the one that sold it to me, which I actually don't even use that much, but was the tilt brush. I don't know if you got a chance to check that out. So it's it's a paint program.
That's great.
By Google.
That's right.
So you, I think they have it on like you can have it play it on Oculus and some of the other ones. But yeah, like it's like a paint program like from a computer, and you can just there's different brushes and all sorts of stuff, and then you can just paint in like a virtual 3D environment and like interact with it. So you can like paint something or whatever and like see it from all angles, like go through it, and it's just insane. Especially because like in that program you can actually load stuff that other people have done.
Yeah, that's so dope.
It's insane. And like when you load it, there's an option to like have it go like stroke by stroke, and so you can watch it be built. Like it's so cool. And that
you basically see their process, which is
and just the whole thing with VR for me was like not even what it was, but like the possibilities, like what they could do with it, where it's gonna go. Like it just got me so excited, and I just happened to be lucky enough to have done like a commercial and gotten paid from that, so I had the money, and I was like, all right, I gotta do this.
Oh my God!
Guts Heat in chat. This is Tilt Brush. I'm talking about
Yes,
Tilt
yes.
Yeah.
Tilt Brush. Or on what program? So it was the HTC Vive. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Which I ended up getting. And I've since then I've upgraded to a Vive Pro headset and then Valve Index controllers.
Yay!
Those are super cool because they have like the individual finger articulation.
Mm-hmm.
So in games that can access that, like Half-Life Alyx,
Mm-hmm.
you can see your individual fingers move, and it's
So
just
good.
Oh wow.
so cool. Yeah.
Insane.
That's awesome. Jen.
Are we able to get into Half-Life Alyx now? Or...
Yeah, I was going to say that.
Oh, okay.
Since you brought up Half-Life Alyx, and that
Funny
happens to
you
be the
mentioned
next.
that.
I know. It's as if you were throwing me a softball. What's yeah, you've had hands-on with Alyx, Half-Life Alyx. I've seen the demo footage, and it looks freaking amazing.
Yeah, it's
how's it been hands-on so far?
Yeah, and besides like some technical issues that have popped up that are not even technically Half-Life issues, just like issue with
VR stuff.
Systems
Hardware.
as a whole.
Yeah.
Like sometimes either Windows, Steam VR, or Steam will like have an update, and sometimes that'll throw everything off. And I'm like, I don't know what to do.
Auto updates,
But yeah, it's Half-Life Alyx is kind of like, I feel like a benchmark for how VR games are going to be from now on. That's going to be like the standard. It's so Boneworks came out a little before. I was going to ask
about that.
Yeah, and that's obviously one of the easiest things to compare it to.
Right.
Boneworks was definitely cool, but I feel like Half-Life Alyx took all the good parts of Boneworks and trimmed out all the stuff that doesn't work and to make their game, and it's just
interesting,
way more streamlined. Everything works way better, which just adds to that immersiveness of feeling like, okay, I'm in this world, I'm interacting. And, so you don't get caught up on I'm stuck behind this object and I can't move forward, or I'm physically moving forward, but my avatar isn't, is stuck or something,
Right.
Well,
just to give everybody a quick rundown of what Half-Life is. Jen, were you about to say this?
I was not going to give a rundown, but I can pipe in.
Okay.
I was gonna,
Go all you.
Oh, really? No. I was gonna say you go. I'll pipe in after you.
Okay. Yeah. So Half-Life, in case nobody or people out there don't know what it is, it's a long-running video game series that kind of started Valve, or put Valve on the map. Yes. There's Half-Life 1, which came out in the late 90s, and it's a first-person shooter. That Half-Life engine is kind of the engine that so many other games were built upon. So in terms of storytelling and gameplay, Half-Life is definitely a milestone in both of those things. Then they came out with Half-Life 2, which was mid-2000s, if I remember correctly. It just kind of compounded on, the fact that Valve puts out some good stuff in terms of games. So everybody has been waiting for, and there was, for Half-Life 2, there were also additional DLCs, but everybody has been waiting for the next Half-Life. And it's kind of a meme online, right?
Half-Life 3, where is
Half-Life 3, where is it? Half-Life 3 confirmed, or all this. So like this Half-Life Alyx being a thing is kind of a big deal. Because it is it's the first Half-Life property that's been released since the Half-Life 2 DLCs. But Jen, yeah.
Yeah. For people who know the Portal series, also by Valve, Valve started Steam as well. Steam powered the game engine is also started by Valve. But Half-Life takes place in the world of Black Mesa, which is the competitor as far as companies goes to Aperture, right? Aperture Science started the Portal labs and whatnot. Team Chell forever. So then what place in the story, Aaron, does Half-Life ALYX take place if it is not Half-Life 3?
Right. I believe it's supposed to be like 5 years before Half-Life 2.
God damn it.
So
So it's like a
okay.
half.
Yeah, so it's like this weird kind of like in between. Like it's
line.
I'm mad still.
A game that's like
I knew that
20 years old.
Cheater. I'm just kidding.
Oh man.
Yeah.
See, the thing is, Half-Life 2 ended on kind of a cliffhanger, right?
Right. Yeah.
So it's like, why did they never, pick that up again?
Because they don't know where the story's going.
I mean,
Obviously.
yeah, that's possibly. But also, I don't know. Maybe it's just them. There's a huge thing. Like, are they just working on it in the background? Maybe they're being like super ultra. I can see how they're like super probably secretive about this. I mean, Half-Life ALYX, there was like no press for this really, and then they dropped this thing all of a sudden.
That's great.
And I'm sure it's the same. It's going to be the same with Half-Life 3.
Yeah.
They're kind of like Blizzarding, Blizzard doesn't. So. They don't tell you about their projects.
They don't tell you about it. You just walk into the Blizzard.
Yeah, you just block, and it's mostly amazing. But yeah.
As far as the story goes, right? So like Gordon Freeman, who is like the protagonist of the Half-Life 1 and 2 games. So he's a scientist who, Oh, Frosh the kitty.
Yeah.
Hi, baby.
Wanted to watch. Yeah.
Hello, kitty. But yeah, so Gordon Freeman teams up with ALYX, right? Who is the female protagonist, who is his partner during the Half-Life game. So now Half-Life ALYX, I'm assuming, is taking the perspective of ALYX instead of Gordon Freeman?
Yes, yeah, that's correct. Yeah. As far as I know, I don't think Gordon's in it at all.
He's not in it at all.
Right.
Look at this cat butthole.
There's some porn on here.
Mooning us.
Cat pawn.
Sorry.
I didn't know it was this kind of a show.
Yeah.
Cats the
Should have
musical.
warned you. Yeah.
These assholes.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Cam cat.
Yeah. So story wise, I don't like. I'm not too sure. I didn't like redo like Half-Life 2 before played ALYX. Go ahead.
I was going to say, are the monsters similar? Like, are you seeing head crabs? Are you seeing Ravenswood?
Yeah. So like as soon as you start seeing them, you're like, oh, it takes you right back.
Back into
even though it's I hadn't played in like 15 20 years.
Having a head crab on you in VR must be the most terrifying thing. Oh my god, does that happen?
As far as like being stuck on you, not so much.
Oh, thank God.
But they will jump at you, which is terrifying. Yeah. And then
these like chicken looking things. They're like naked looking chickens that crawl up to you and they attack you and they suck on your face.
Yeah. And then
it's my fantasy.
True to Half-Life,
naked chickens.
They know how to just set that mood, that tense, like eeriness. So it is
even in original Half-Life it was like that.
Yeah. So they kept that in, and you'll hear like skittering through the vents and stuff like that. It's definitely nerve-wracking walking around.
So Aaron, would you say that if you do have a chance to play Half-Life ALYX, it's a definite play then? Something to check out.
If you have a VR system, like absolutely, it's a no-brainer.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah. And then the mechanics are just so fantastic how they help to add to that. Because like, again, like, compared it to like Boneworks. In Boneworks, if there's something like you're trying to get like ammo or whatever, you aim at it, you hit a button, and then like it just comes at you, and then it's like in your system or whatever. But in Half-Life ALYX, you have to like hold your hand out towards it.
Oh, physically pick it up.
No, you have to like pull the like hold the trigger and then flick your wrist.
Oh, that's dope. So you like throw it.
Yeah. So then like through whatever scientific telekinesis, it'll then fly at you, but then you have to catch it still.
What?
Oh, wow.
That's nuts.
So it sounds like, oh, that's just like extra steps, but it really adds to that feeling like you're in this world. It's not just you just magically it goes.
Right.
You have to.
It makes sense.
You have to do it, and then you have to catch it, and then you have to put it in your like backpack or whatever.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, we may have just gotten a hold of some VR hardware thanks to Angfernal in chat. So maybe we will get to see what you're talking about sometime soon.
Cool. Yeah.
Can't wait. So what we're going to move on to next is Castlevania Season 3. So Aaron, you are caught up, right?
I am, yes.
Cool.
It was a whirlwind weekend.
What is everybody's overall impressions of Season 3, the rest of it? Because we talked about Season 3, episodes 1 through 3 last week. We were supposed to talk about 1 to 2, but we extended it to 3.
My bad, guys. Sorry.
No, it's all good. What is everybody? Caitlin, what do you think? Because you're rocking.
Huh? What?
No, what did you? You look very excited to speak.
No, I really enjoyed it. I feel like this past season was it was definitely the most interesting in terms of where they decided to go with the plot and the different themes that they chose to explore. As someone who's never played the Castlevania games before, it was interesting to research and see what they pulled from the original source material. Because for those of you who don't know, there's a shit ton of Castlevania games out there.
Yeah, there is.
They come out with one like every year, And there's like the old school, like the ones that are like 2D, like 8-bit or something like that. And then there's the ones that are like, fully 3D-ish. Yeah.
Well, there's one for like the N64 that came.
Yeah, there's the N64 one. And I thought I know we've discussed this before, Jen and Earl and I, but I actually got to the point where I hate to admit it, but I actually started getting more invested in the new characters, even more so than the original protagonists, because I felt like the story was moving in a different direction. Mm-hmm.
It's true.
But I can unpack further, but you guys go next.
I thought it was. Go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead.
I thought it was great.
You hang
That's
up.
all I was gonna say. I know.
You closed the browser. You closed the browser window.
Was the night
you
that
had the Zoom call.
The night we finished, when the night me, Jen, and Earl binged it, we were like, even after it was over, we were texting each other till like 6 a.m.
Till like 6 a.m, just going like, I've been listening.
Yeah, we're like
tears.
I looked up this Reddit thread. We just kept messaging each other because we couldn't stop thinking about it.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, okay, so like if I want to speak largely about season 3, to me, it's about like faith in human morality.
Humanity, yeah.
Faith in humanity and whether or not the human race is even redeemable, after all this. Because like there is like rampant evil in this world. And we're talking like, I mean, I guess like season 1 and season 2 we're addressing like the cruelty or the evil of Dracula specifically, but we haven't really addressed like the cruelty and evil of humans. But I guess like Dracula's rage is also fueled by humanity's stupidity.
There was a bit of that.
So,
and also how easily they are corrupted, or they can be just corrupted or hidden secrets that people have.
Yeah. I found like jumping on top of that, I think like the most interesting parts of season 3 were not exactly the parts that were like, oh, humans are also pieces of shit, but also the parts where, these are places where nuggets of goodness can come through. So when is that possible?
Like,
and what does that do to your like understanding of how redeemable people are?
Right.
Which is why I think like our secondary characters, Hector and Isaac, are so much more interesting than
exactly. sorry, Trevor, Sypha, and Alucard, but they did my boy Alucard dirty this season.
Well, this season
they did him dirty.
This season, the three leads had merely nothing to do.
Like, they didn't
kind of
have anything to do.
Rediscovering like their relationship with the world now that Dracula's gone.
Agreed. You know? I think the takeaway from the end of this season is that Alucard is supposed to basically take on the trauma of his father, which is he's even less trustful of humanity now. And Trevor and Sypha, I'm not 100% sure what that was all about. We could talk about that judge storyline that got shoved in at the
which
very
was
end,
really weird.
Which was really weird.
They seeded it once, and then like they're like, but I don't know.
Well, I think the judge thing, that's the one I was talking about, which is like
random, wasn't it?
Yeah, but I think it's just like what we were saying is like it's the evil of men and the evil of humanity.
Right.
That people put up a facade of being dignified and like pillars of community when they have these deep dark secrets, just like how the monks were supposed to be like followers of God, whatever, but they were actually like antichrists and whatever, right?
Right.
Because they were corrupted. So the point is just that sometimes the shiniest thing is not that great.
I get that. It's just that the mayor, the judge storyline was a little ham-fisted.
But you know what they were trying to do.
You know what they were trying to do.
Which I get. Yeah, the execution was a little random.
Aaron, what did you think about it?
Yeah, sorry, Aaron.
No, it's okay.
Aaron I'm so sorry. No.
It's like, I don't know that I felt that was that ham-fisted in. Especially because they had like
it was just like, okay, did we need this?
Okay, I get it.
Like, did we not turn every single person that you thought might have been good?
I know.
Yeah. I was telling them that. Sorry, Aaron.
Go ahead.
Yeah. No, I was just saying to Jen and Earl before, like, I feel like the showrunner is genius. I forget his name now, but it was almost like this was like an early draft that they just turned in. Like, okay, we don't have time, just make it.
And it's done.
Yeah, and it's done. It's like, it's almost like there's pieces of genius there, as sometimes the execution or the pacing is a little odd, but I will forgive it because at the end of the day, there's some really brilliant stuff there. Like there really is. The whole story about the priory and them trying to figure out like what is going on with these priests. I just kept thinking of like a Lovecraft story, some like creepy, weird.
And we got that with the night creature, kind of.
Yeah,
the visitor.
Yeah. So that could have been like a short story. That could have been like a novella right there. Just that plot line.
Yeah. See, I liked it. I don't think I was as crazy about it as you guys, in a sense of like for exactly that.
Sam Dietz.
They could have expanded on some of that. Like I was really invested in Isaac and his development.
He was really cool.
And I was even his storyline, like that the journey he was going through, I thought was a lot more interesting. The Priory was cool, but like I said, the mayor, I was like, or the judge. I keep saying the mayer.
He seems like the mayor, though, right?
Yeah, like
he effectively is.
He's effectively the mayor. Yeah.
I was like, this dude's weird. He's like just from because his outfit.
Jason Isaac.
I was.
No, go ahead.
I was really excited by the notion that maybe he was good underneath, and he was just like a very like person with propriety,
Yes.
And he was like, look, I know you're running around, but you can get an apple from like my tree.
Yeah.
No, he was like, kill him.
I
what are those little bones?
When he said that about I was like, why are you sending this kid all the way out there? You like you could have literally just bought an apple for him. If like
what did you think about that, Aaron?
We thought it was
Aaron.
Aaron, go for it. Aaron, what do you think?
Yeah. Can I ask Aaron a specific question?
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
Like, okay, so sorry, as I forget my specific question. But I was gonna ask, what do you think about his character development, the judge?
The judge?
Yeah.
I thought it was really interesting early on because at first you're like, oh, I don't like this guy, and then their conversations and he starts to seem a little more personable and and then it pull the rug out.
Yeah,
yeah.
you remember like when they were talking about the fall of the Roman Empire, right? With the old magician that that Isaac runs across. The old magician
I
talks
think it's
about
Greek.
the Greek.
Right? Yeah.
There we go. The Greek
That's why I was
Empire.
was it Socrates? Oh my
And
God,
they were
what's this guy's
saying
Socrates?
that
Socrates?
the person in power was just somebody that's just named Judge. Wait, this is the fry-eyed.
Right.
Yeah.
The person
Yeah.
in power was just somebody named Judge.
Yeah.
I
What
don't know.
did that
This is
mean?
not turning into a question for Aaron, but I just wanted to.
We're just trying to take away.
Was that like a
statement
theory?
for it's a statement for Aaron.
Well, what did that mean? Like,
I'm talking at you.
I'm talking Aaron. But okay, so initially I thought maybe they're the same person, but no,
Yeah.
it doesn't have to span storylines that way. The significance that just proved itself to me just now, the moment I thought about it, is that people who are put into, power,
Positions of power,
who have like a judgment call aren't
yeah.
necessarily just themselves. Right?
Right.
Like who gets to call the justice? Like does Dracula get to call justice when he reigns upon humanity and snuffs them out?
Yeah.
Or is it, Alucard, Sypha, and Trevor who get to call justice? You know what I mean? Like, so I don't know. What do you think, Aaron, is the metric of justice in this world of Castlevania? That's a hard question.
The metric of justice.
Encapsulate justice.
Damn, that's deep.
That's some deep ass shit though. Like,
a loaded question.
how do you even begin? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I think like, when they're talking about it, it's, in order to be that kind of like ruling person, you have to be kind of above and beyond a person.
Yeah.
I think
you have to also believe you're above and beyond a person, right?
Right. And I think that's where things start to get convoluted, because then, you can't completely separate it. And I think that's where these kind of people of power, struggle and end up,
absolutely
eschewing from justice and what's right and all that.
Like I kind of want to shift gears to like, what did you guys think about the twins? Because as it developed, I was kind of, to be honest, I was kind of pissed off at the end.
Dude,
how that developed.
As soon as they came on the screen, we were like.
And then especially when they started looking at each other, and then like,
raise an eyebrow.
These mother are up to no good. And then it went into this whole stereotype trope of like Asian sexual whatever.
I wasn't even thinking about that. Yeah.
Like, and then now we're gonna have a threesome with Alucard. I'm like, what?
It was.
That was the
Alucard's
most
like
random.
Treating them like as his kids and siblings for a while, and they're like that kind of acting childish, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, let's have a three-way. I'm like, what?
I actually said this like when at the very beginning, like I don't know, this thread is the one that's going to be the weakest. I feel
it was definitely they didn't know what to do with Alucard.
It was
so
it was the worst.
It was because they why did they kill him all of a sudden? Just because he wasn't showing them more, they could have asked more questions. It seemed very drastic step that came out of nowhere.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you're not teaching it's a freaking 1,000-year-old castle. Like, what do you expect? A fucking Matrix download on your
it was definitely the
your neck?
Yeah, no, it was.
The crazy thing.
Are you just there to kill him?
Right.
Like, exactly. They just wanted something dramatic to happen.
Right. And if that was like what they were after the entire time, like why lead us on this whole like supposed journey? If it was all just a red herring, and it was what? They
didn't know what to do, so they're like, we'll just have a sex scene for Alucard because we're missing.
What do you think, Aaron?
Yeah, because they got me when like earlier on when he was talking about training the next generation of hunters, and I was like, cool, all right, this is great. We're gonna
watch that.
Have new people, and they're going to be diverse, and like, and then they just threw it all away.
Yeah, man.
They did.
That's what I was saying. That's what I was saying last week. Yeah, I totally agree with
as
you,
soon
Aaron.
as that bedroom scene started, I was like,
You're like,
please
no.
don't make me bad. Please don't make me
devices.
bad. No.
We already had a sex scene with Hector and Lenore. We don't need another one.
Intercut like two,
They
three
intercut
different things.
4 different scenes at the same time.
Well,
Like,
not even
There were
that.
like 2 sex scenes happening.
happening
while
at the
a
same time.
gigantic apocalyptic
2 battles were
violence
happening.
was
Yeah.
With the giant ball of people.
Yeah.
Remember that shit?
And then like that, I already started getting pissed when like after their training and they all collapsed to the ground. They were kind of
You knew
like,
where
and
it
I
was
was like,
going?
yeah, I saw that. I was like,
Oh,
I've seen too many
no.
fucking Japanese anime. It's like, I know where this is going, and this is not cool.
They're breathing hard in any
Yeah.
one area.
Yeah.
You know what's gonna happen.
Like, make us a sandwich.
Jen,
I was like,
he said,
if I
I'm
was
digging this poly dynamic.
Yeah,
Oh, I said that in chat.
Yeah, if I was Alucard, they're like this. It's like, yeah, make us a sandwich. I'd be like, make your own damn sandwich. Make me a sandwich. Shit,
Dude,
This
it
is
was-
my
training
house.
you
Yeah.
to be a fucking vampire
It's
hunter.
weird though. Like I watch,
Oh
you know,
my God.
when I watch anime and I see stuff like that, I'm just like, all right, that's kind of a given. That's gonna
Yeah.
always happen.
Yeah, you don't know
And-
it's going to culminate in sex.
Right, exactly. The way it ends is
Man,
Don't know
nah,
that.
I was like, I saw that, I was like, I saw the writing on the wall, and I was like, this writer is freaking fulfilling his little fantasy. I was just
What's
like,
wrong
I
with
was-
that, Walter? What's
I
wrong
mean,
with that?
yo, but there goes the whole diversity aspect.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
He just
Yeah.
killed them off.
It would have
I
been so
feel-
nice to see that, though. You know what Aaron was saying.
Yeah.
I was all in for that, like training the
Yeah.
next generation. We're gonna get some like.
There wasn't
fucking,
much training, was there?
There
I
wasn't.
mean,
There was
nah.
more heavy
Yeah,
breathing.
there was.
So
It was important.
And I'm like-
Everything.
Of course,
Should've
you'll
been
kill
the
off.
first clue.
Yeah, you'll kill off the people of color. Oh, except Isaac, but
Yeah.
I was
No,
gonna. I
Isaac
was
is-
gonna ask Aaron.
he's my
what do you
racehorse
think
right
about-
now, man.
What do you think about what happened with Hector? Like in comparison to what happened with Hector with Dracula?
Mm.
I got many
Oh,
feels.
like,
I'll let you
with-
take it.
Yeah,
With
like
Carmilla?
Hector under Carmilla's rule versus
Right.
Hector under Dracula's rule. Like, how is that similar or different for you?
oh, good question.
I don't know. I feel like Carmilla seemed a little more manipulative about it, you know.
Or at
Dracula,
least direct, right?
Like lied, you know, like didn't
Or, like, by
wasn't
omission.
completely upfront.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
that's like a different situation than
Yeah.
specifically. I'm gonna say exactly what I need you to hear in order for
Right.
you to do what I want to do, what I
Right.
want you to do. You know, like
Yeah.
it was a lot more actively manipulative than under Dracula.
And yet, Lenore was the one who's making the argument where she's like, "We're not lying to you.
Mhm.
We're giving you exactly what you want. We're being upfront with you."
Which
do
is
you
what
guys
people
think Hector's-
lying to you think?
I know. Do you guys think he's dumb? Because I went online and
I
there's
don't
like
think he's
half the people are
dumb.
like, "He's a dumbass," and I'm like,
I don't think
he
he's
was
dumb.
beaten within an inch of his life, and he's starving and naked. Of course, he's gonna grasp.
I don't think
onto
he's
the
dumb.
straws. Yeah.
Right. I don't think. I think that's just a natural instinct to
Yeah.
grasp onto something like that in that situation.
I mean, the reason being, people said, "You fool me once, shame on you. If you fool me
Yeah,
twice, shame on me."
I mean-
he got fooled twice by 2
But
women. You know what
I think
That's
he's
in
just
here
a,
sitting from the outside perspective, like when you're in that shit, like how.
Edgelords. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
hey, he's a sub, you know.
He clearly.
Yeah.
There's
All right.
there's
He is a
consent.
sub.
Yeah.
And then
Consent, and
we're
he is
seeing
not
that-
getting any in this.
Yeah.
He withdrew consent.
No, because I know a lot of guys online were saying, "Dude, Hector hasn't made. I would love to be having sex with a vampire witch," and I was like, "That's
yeah, if
rape.
you consented to it,
Fucking rape.
that's
Like,
not consent.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Men can get raped too. You know.
Yes.
true. Yeah.
He shouldn't have
And
been
if you're
naked in that
literally-
cell.
Shut the
Well-
fuck up.
Well.
Walter.
So. Anyway. It is.
Saint-Germain.
What's up?
Saint Germain with
Saint
Bill
Germain.
Nye.
I
love
know,
that
so good.
character.
There's
That's
a lot to
gonna
talk
be
about
the
here.
next season right there.
Maybe we could talk a little bit about this because we do need to wrap up, unfortunately. We are at
Okay.
the end of this show. We've kind of run over our other 2 allotments of time. So
Oh shit.
yeah, maybe we can talk about this a little more next show. But thank you so much, Aaron, for being here, for joining us, telling
Thank
us
you
about
for
Half-Life
having me.
ALYX.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, it was a lot of fun.
Thanks for being here, man.
Thank you.
Thank you to everybody in the chat, Oddball, Fred Frazier, Technicality, Guts, all you guys. Thank you again for being here and for joining us week after week. We will be back here again, same time, same bat channel, Mondays at 8 p.m. on twitch.tv/pangeekery. Join us again next week. Throw us a sub to your Witcher, your Stitcher. I'm so
Toss a
sorry.
sub to your Stitcher.
Yeah.
And thank you, cast. Thank you, crew. We will see you next week. Later.
Bye.
Bye.